welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the GW Panther. It's the Tier 7 German SPG. It's on the southeast spawn of Fjords and it's under the command of talon1958. And yes, the contest for the weekend lie-in is still underway. And Talon sent me two replays featuring one of his favourite Arties. This one's the GW. Okay. Well, he's going down onto Little Italy, or the area I call Little Italy, because it's this kind of jut of land that sticks out. Alongside it, on the other side is what you'd call Yugoslavia, I suppose, or what used to be Yugoslavia. And yes, this is the bit of Italy that pokes out into the sea. Okay, well, he gets plenty of cover over here that he can move about in. T71. Well, it got close, splashed in for 46. He's got a 15cm howitzer, capable of penetrating 39mm of armour, and the standard reload is 25.39 seconds, and Talon's got it down to 20.97. Rounds out on the S. Oh, he just hit! Direct hit on the SU-130PM. No explosion, so we know we touched him. Okay, so he's carrying nothing but the HE that causes stun, even though Wargames reduce the amount of damage that you get from these shells. It's not stopping it's not stopping What Arty Noobs players from scoring huge amounts of damage on the enemy. We saw a video earlier today about one of the Unicums complaining bitterly about Arty yet again, stating, oh, it's unfair and the Wargaming should have taken him out of the game, even trying to claim that Arty players are unskillful players, or that they it's Wargaming or World of Tanks on easy mode. Little does he realise how to play the game properly with Arty. It does take great skill. It also takes a lot of patience. And yes, you have to work very, very hard. Even though it may not seem that you're working hard, you are. As you can see here, Talon's looking around the map, trying to find the best target to hit out his teammates. Okay, fired that one into a spot where enemy tanks tend to go, tank destroyers do. Okay, he's reassigned and relocated himself to avoid counter battery. And he's now looking for that SU-130PM somewhere in here, because somebody knocked a tree down. Rounds out. Yep, that looked good. Didn't actually touch anything as far as we know, but it was on the spot where the SU-130PM was last seen. And again, he's changing position. As you may know, my maxim is to keep your fire rate up as much as possible, because you've got much more chance of actually hitting some of the enemy if you pump out as many shells as you can. And we've just found one of the enemy Arty. It's an FB304, and he just killed one of our tanks with a direct hit. And there's a direct hit on him for 164. Rather, it was a splash because it landed in the water right next door to him. But I think that FB304 was very cheeky to take out our Borsig Waffenträger. Now he's going to get another round. Hopefully this will finish him off. Here we go. Rounds out. Well, if he wasn't there, he's made the smart move to move somewhere else, but he was there. He's bound to have lost some hit points, because the shell was bang on the spot where he was last seen. And Talon's now changed position again. Okay, the enemy just lost a KV2. And Talon's looking for his next target. He's looking where the FB304... Oh, he was there! He was there, and he just moved position, but he got killed by the AMX 1357. So, yes. Okay, SU-130PM. Rounds out. Yep, that got some splash. And the other RT fired in at the same time, so Talon's picked up some stun assist. So that degrades his ability to fight, and the AMX 1357 comes up behind him and gives him a bit of surprise butt sex, as Jingles would say. and he's out the game. Okay, now there is a Rudy just in that spot there. Rounds out and, yep, hit the spot, but we don't know if it did any damage, but more than likely it would. Now you get 30 rounds in the GW Panther, which is better than some of the Artys who only get 20 rounds with the tier 7. And yes, there was an enemy Arty in that bush. In fact, I think he's moved in just recently, but now he's about to get a bit of a surprise. It's a present from Talon, and it's a direct hit, wipes him out. That's his first kill of the game. Beautiful kill as well. Direct hit, one-shot kill. And now he's aiming for the S51, who just took a hit from the other Arty on our team, the M44. Talon's going to fire his round in. Oh, before he can fire, the enemy tank, the S51, is wiped out. But he's now going for where the Rudy was last seen, which is down in that little chine running down to the fjord. Okay, he's decided instead to aim for this Object 274A, other side of the battlefield. He's trying to dial it in at the moment. In fact, there's a red line there, so he fires it in, hoping to get a near miss, and he gets it. He stunned the guy. Now, both enemy Artys are out of the game, so he doesn't have to relocate, but what he's actually doing is trying to get closer to the enemy, because the closer you are, the easier it is to get direct hits and also to push towards the enemy cap area. Sometimes Arty does have to cap in games, but I don't think he'll have to cap in this one because there's only two enemies left. The Object 274A and the Renegade. You can see the marks, shows that Talon's had ace tankers in his GW Panther before, and as you know, by the rules of the contest with Angelina 75, if he gets an ace tanker, he wins the Weekend Lion outright straight away. Rounds out the 274. Well, it was very close, 197. He's getting stun assist because the guy's taking more damage. Still stunned. Again, this is something that the Unicum missed out on. Stunning enemy tanks makes them easier targets for your teammates to kill because it slows them down. Rounds out. Well, he pulled away to avoid any damage, but he did get stunned, and he's now being hit again. And I think that hit was actually from M44, who's got very close to the action because he's only a short distance away. In fact, that M44 might be in danger from the Renegade. Okay, Tanner's going to fire one in. Rounds out. Again, he's stunned the 274A. Our teammates are capping at the other end. The 274's trying to get a reset. Talon could fire one in here to hamper him, stop him getting a reset. He's tracked. Rounds out. Direct hit, wipes him out. Great shot. And that means now there's only one enemy left. It's the Renegade. And yes, he is threatening the life of that M44. Got way too close. And yes, paid for it unfortunately. But he's only got 7 hit points left, the Renegade. And that means that I don't think he's going to be much trouble for our teammates to take out. There is a Stuart Mill. I think Talon might be interested in getting a shotgun. He might be inclined to do it, you know. If he came up behind the enemy and put a 15cm howitzer round into his rear, he'd certainly feel that. And they capped out to win, so the battle is over. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the first class tanker for talon1958 in the GW Panther. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one he managed to get 9, and his win rate from the battle was 2,816, which is Unicum standard. In fact, this beats his previous score because I believe in the past he actually has a second class tanker and a bruiser medal, but he didn't beat Angelina's score, which, as I recall, is a first class, a bruiser and a Confederate. So Angelina is at the moment in the lead because even though Talon's managed to match her first class tanker and her bruiser. He hasn't got a Confederate to go with it, and that would be the deciding factor. Anyway, let's go back to Talon's score. And if we look at team score, we can see that he actually managed to get 1,850 hit points of damage. But unfortunately, that wasn't the highest damage in the game. The Object 274A got a high caliber for 3,379. The second highest damage in the game went to the Chrysler K on Talon's team with 2,675. And the third highest damage went to the Renegade, who actually did survive the battle, got a Spartan medal and 2,498, which means that Talon was actually in 4th place on damage in that game. So it does pay to keep firing those rounds in, because you do rack up a huge amount of damage and then you get medals. If you look at the number of kills, well, it's the AMX 1357 who did the best with 4 kills out of that one. The Renegade got 3, and then there's a bunch of tanks who managed to get 2 kills apiece, and that includes Talon, who managed to. The Chrysler K got 2, so did the Object 274A and the Hellcat on the enemy team. So he's joint 3rd on kills. And when it came to base XP, he's in 2nd place, because the AMX 1357 managed 1,049 and Talon managed 942, and the 3rd highest base XP was the Chrysler K with 924. Talon fired 16 rounds in that game, got 3 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetration, and I think that penetration might have been a kill, but I'll just check that actually. Was it the SU... no, the SU-8, wasn't it? Surely. Yes, it was a penetration. That shot overwhelmed the SU-8. Absolutely went straight through it. No problem whatsoever. Let's have a look at the rest of it. 13 splashes on the enemy as well. 1,850 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 2. Did 706 hit points of stun assist off 11 stuns. So he was getting stun. Not enough to get an ace tanker, but he certainly was gaining it. 37,608 credits for the game, 50,000 for completing a mission, 87,608 credits altogether, and after ammunition resupply took away 69,688 credits. 1,413 XP times 2 for the first victory, 2,826 experience points altogether. So that was Talon's game in the GW Panther. We'll do our little feature because I think some of you actually do enjoy looking at some of the features, such as the armor. We'll just go past Angelina's results. Okay, this is the armor profile for the GW Panther. It's basically a Panther tank with a very big howitzer mounted on top of it, but it doesn't really have Panther armor stats. If you look at this, you can see impacted armor on the front of the vehicle is only 50 millimeters, but with the angling of that armor, it goes up to 80.4, and you can see the lower plate, 30 millimeters of actual impacted armor, but the effective armor goes up to 67, 66. So the angling really does help. On the sides of this vehicle, it's still very, very weak indeed, 30 millimeters. So just about any shell fired at it, it's more than likely going to go straight through. It's only effective armor 30 as well, because it's slab-sided. You see, if there was some angling, that might increase or the effective armor, but it doesn't. And the engine deck's fairly weak as well. You can see that 16 millimeters there, not much to work with. It does have these shields around the outside. They're only really to protect the crew more than anything. And of course the gun shield here, it's all thin armor, 16 millimeters. That's the spot. If you're aiming as a tank, you want to take out one of these, aim for this gun shield. It's very high, very prominent, sticks out well above the machine, and so it's much easier to aim for. And of course every shell will literally go through, because only this front bit, which is 30 millimeters, the bit at the back 16 millimeters. And if we go around the vehicle, here's the very rear, and you can see that's only 20 millimeters thick. So yes, very, very weak indeed. So that's the GW when it comes to the armor. Let's have a look at the modules. There you go. Okay, we've got the modules up, and you can see the driver's sitting all on his own right up front of the machine. He's actually got the transmission in front of him and the engine behind him and a fuel tank to his left, or to his right as he's looking at it, but to his left or to the left of him as you're looking at him. You can see the ammo racks not really all the way down the machine. I think one of the other videos I may have mentioned they go the entire length of the machine. They don't. They actually only extend down a short distance from the where the gun is. On the right hand side of the gun we've got the gunner. On the left hand side we've got the commander. And behind those two we've got the two loaders, and they're shoveling the shells out of those two ammo racks either side. They're in the body of the actual tank, so if you want to set the ammo rack off, you have to aim for the body, not for the gun shield. The gun shield, you might take out the commander, but remember the gun shield is part of the hitbox, so if you put a shell into the gun shield, it counts as if it went into the body of the tank, and it's very thin armor. If you want to try and get an ammo rack, you're going to have to aim for the top and the rear end of the tank, so the body of the tank at the rear end on either side, and you should be able to hit the ammo rack. The radio, rather unusually, is right next door to the engine, behind the fuel tank and ahead of the ammo racks. Very odd placement, but I suppose the TC can always pull down and, or rather lean down and pick up the radio. Yes, very odd. But anyway, that's the module placement on the GW Panther. The second game is on the Mines map, and he's on the south spawn this time. Well, you can see both of his teammates in this one are M44s, and lots of Arty players tend to stick in the southwest corner of the, or southeast corner of the map, sticking in that area, and both M44s are staying there, and that makes them vulnerable because it means that everyone knows where you are and where you're likely to be, but it sometimes pays to be unconventional and go somewhere else, and that's what Talon's going to do in this game. He's heading off towards this corner, which actually gives him the ability to shoot at the enemy and potentially not get seen as well, so long as somebody doesn't get up onto the hill and have a look out, because then they might see him. Okay, well, he's aiming, his teammates are actually aiming into the plateau. He's fired a round in as well. Oh, he hit something, and he's killed a Hellcat with his first shot. A blind kill on a Hellcat hiding behind the bush. So he was absolutely right to fire the round in. I think one of the M44s must have hit the Hellcat and damaged him. And then it appears that Talon gave him the coup de grace. Okay, he's lining up the shot on the Striv 74. Rounds out. Another direct hit. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see how much... where the hole was, but he got 237 hit points of damage. Remember, 600 alpha. Well, it doesn't look as if the enemy is going to take the hill anytime soon, because we've got some tanks up there stopping them. A KV-3 and a VK-3001P. Oh, he just hit the Panther for 253. Another good hit. Non-penetrating shot, of course. The good thing about the mods that we use in this game, they're Aslains mods, is that when you do hit a vehicle and you're using those special mods, you can sometimes actually see a hole or a mark which actually shows you where you touched the enemy vehicle. It can be so useful. He's looking around for the enemy Arty. There's a Lorraine 15550, an AMX-13 F3AM and an M44. Rounds out the Super Chappy. Oh my god, that was definitely a penetrating shot. He got 638 hit points from the actual hit. So it's a high roll penetration, and he then got some stun assist off that as well. SU-152 is taking a load of punishment. And before, oh, he fired just as the moment the guy died. But I'm pretty sure he would have got the kill there. Okay, he's looking around for his next target. He's trying to work out where the enemy Arty might be. There's a T-29. Now you can definitely touch that guy. He's dialing in on that spot. Almost ready to go. Rounds out. Yes, he's still there. And a direct hit for 229. So he is maximising the amount of damage he does by making good use of each shell as moment as it's loaded. He fires it off to do some damage. That's how I played it, and it tends to work for me, so that's why I recommend to other people. Another hit but it was a splash this time. It landed behind him, and he only got 3 hit points out of it, but it all counts, and especially if you stun the enemy. Now, one of the enemy Arty has been spotted. He's just around the other side of the rock, and I think he's guessing that there must be another one in here somewhere. There's an Achilles and the T-34 2GFT in that corner. He's dialed in. Rounds out. Well, splashed the T-34 for some hit points. 63, got some stun assists as well. The other Arties are focusing on that area, and the Achilles has lost 223 for stun assist. And there's that Arty again. The AMX-13F3. It looks like he's moving. And I think Talon wants that kill. So he's lining him up. And he's gone. Okay, he's trying to work out where the other one is. Oh, shells are going in, and there's the M44. So he was right to have a look in that corner, because there was somebody there. And I think I saw shells coming in this corner as well. So I think they are in the conventional positions for Arty. Trying to loop a shell into that T-34, but he's gone, and there's the enemy Arty. Just got struck, so he's in that corner. Could get a kill here. Yes, he got him a blind kill to finish the game. Excellent work. That was a really hectic game, but brilliant, because it was working out so well. Especially that first shot, the blind kill of a Hellcat right at the start. Superb. It's only a first class tanker and a bruiser medal for Talon out of this one, though. Unfortunately, he just didn't get enough stun assist to actually tip it over into an ace tanker, and there was no Confederate because he got kills instead, unfortunately. But he did increase his win 8 score. Yes, so he got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 8 in total. His win 8 went up from over 2,000. Now it's 3,313, which is Super Unicum standard. So he's definitely getting in the swing of it. He's maximizing his damage. He's punching those shells out as quickly as he can at the nearest enemy to get some hit points off them and make the best of the game before it all expires. If we look at team score, we can see that when it came to damage in that game, yes, he did get the highest. He got 2,101 hit points of damage out of the game, but it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool, and that's why he didn't get a high caliber out of it. But the next highest scorer was the T150 with 1,811, and the third highest damage was the IS on the enemy team with 1,790. So brilliant game when it came to damage for Talon, and I think it started well with that kill on the Hellcat and just kept on getting better. When it came to kills, it was the IS on our team that did the best. He got 4 kills out of that one. But in joint second place is Talon with 2 kills, the VK3001P, the M44, the T29, and 2 members of the enemy team also managed 2 kills apiece, the IS and the Lorraine 15550 that Talon killed right at the end of the game. When it came to base XP, he's got top on that one, so he's got top on 2 of the columns. 892 went to Talon, 851 went to the IS, 784 went to T150. So a great game, 2 out of 2 at the top on 2 of the columns. It's just a pity he didn't get some more kills, but then again, the reason why he didn't get a Confederate was simply because he was killing too many enemy tanks to do so. He got 9 shots in that game, only 9, but he got 6 direct hits on the enemy and 2 penetrations. Well, I'm pretty certain I know which tanks he actually penetrated. I think the Hellcat was one. Yes, look at that. 504 hit points of damage from that one shot. I think he also, yes, the Super Chaffee, that shot I said at the time, it was a high roll penetration shot. It went right through the side of the Super Chaffee to kill him. Absolutely brilliant. Let's have a look at the rest of the detail. 7 splashes on the enemy as well. 2,101 hit points of damage, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 2, so he wasn't that far off getting a Confederate. If he'd actually hit one more tank, I think he would have got one. 765 hit points of stun assist off 7 stuns, so close to getting an ace tanker as well in terms of stun assist, because the more stun assist you get, the more it pokes the score up, especially on a game like that. 38,526 credits from the game, 50,000 for completing a mission, 88,526 altogether, and after ammunition resupply, and remember this ammo is fairly cheap, he came away with a profit of 78,446 credits. 1,338 XP times 2 for the first victory, took away 2,676 experience points altogether. So despite the fact that he got a first class and a bruiser in 2 games, he doesn't beat Angelina's score, because as you saw, Angelina managed a first class, a bruiser and a Confederate, which means she beats him by a Confederate at the moment in this game. But I can say Angelina has sent me in a replay, and that's going to be the very next video. So if you've enjoyed this one, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and please do remember that all the profits from our channel at the moment are going to aid the refugees from the Ukraine war. We are sending it off to the Red Cross. There's proof on the What Arty Noobs Facebook page that we are sending the money, so if you want to see and check, yes, that's exactly what we're doing. We're putting the proof up, the evidence that we're sending the money. So the more videos you watch, the more money is being sent to aid the refugees from the war and to help them. So please do watch as many of our videos as you can. If you don't like Arty, there's plenty of tank videos on there. In fact, there's over 3,000 tank videos on our website, and there's another website, another channel you can watch if you don't like those, and that's the other channel called The General. It's not monetized, that one, so obviously we don't earn anything from that one at all. We put it up so that people can see their replays if they actually earned a Pools medal, or if they got a Racine Heroes medal, if they had a really good game. We put them up on that channel. So yes, if you like tank games, have a look at that one. And do give us a subscription if you do, please. And if not, just please subscribe to What Arty Noobs and watch as many of our videos as you can, so we can send as much money as possible to the refugees. Thanks for watching.